What is up, my peoples, my friends? Every time I come on here to do an intro now, I'm like, I can't be consistent because, I used to say one thing. Now people are saying, man, what's going on, guys? Just doesn't do it for me. I'm like, all right, I'll try something different every time then. Anyways, we're going to jump into season 6, episode 19. 3 episodes to go in the final season of Sopranos, man. I had a ball. I've had a ball. It's just been a great journey, and hopefully that you guys enjoyed it as well. So, without no further ado, let's jump into episode 19 of season 6 of The Sopranos, and I will see you guys after for the review. God.
You must have seen fights before. Your friends beating up the African kid. Why do you think that's been impossible to shake?
They had my back after all the shit with Blanca. Now they care about me.
Did you try to stop the beating?
I'm one individual. What could I do?
Did you try? That's the point. I'm pretty sure they probably would have backed off if he had said something. It's like, because
I still feel like shit.
they know they can't touch him. But he doesn't use that clout. You know what I'm saying?
Your classes, how are you enjoying those?
English is boring. And the other one's kind of interesting, but that's pretty depressing.
The Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
People blowing each other up because their God says they're allowed to live in a certain patch of fucking sand. And other people's gods say they're supposed to live there. Maybe I shouldn't have taken it.
You seem to be taking it all personally.
These mujahideen assholes, like in Indonesia, and they want to kill everybody.
Have you considered writing about your experience with the Somali boy? A short story, perhaps?
Why would I do that?
It might help clarify your feelings.
I was watching CNN. This story about these kids in some Iraqi hospital. How the burn unit doesn't have the right medicine or something. Then they show this story about some mall in Minnesota. These gigantic fat people buying stuff and eating all this shit. It's like my parents. You should see our house. And the stupid coffee maker they got. Media room. Then there's Blanca. Her kid hardly talks. She can't afford to send him to a decent school.
You think your feelings about Blanca in any way relate to this African boy?
She's not black. I mean, she's pretty tan.
Why are you talking about the sun like this is some mysterious shit? I swear, drugs be messing with me. It lets them appreciate stuff.
You moving on that?
That happens every day.
You should probably see Phil.
I got those with answer once. Back in 68. I was with your dad and them at the Copa. Fucking BOAC store just put it in my drink. Jerry Vale started singing and I look over. Your Uncle Joe's got a laser beam shooting out his eyes.
What are you doing? Sit.
I made your favorite steak pizzaiole.
You know they spray virus on beef rather than clean the rat shit out of the slaughterhouses?
What is this now?
Jesus Christ.
It's true. Read the paper.
I do read the paper. Never heard that.
I'm not talking about the sports page. In the FDA, they approved a virus spray because it kills a similar bacteria found on meat.
Must be a good thing then.
Yeah. And for the meat packers. The fucking god of the bottom line.
All right, that's enough. We're trying to eat here, and you're upsetting people that have been through a tragedy.
Fine. Bury your head in the sand.
How about I bury yours in that fucking wall instead?
Tony.
20 years, you won't crack a book. All of a sudden, he's the world's foremost authority.
Well, at least he's getting an education.
And education's help you get a better job.
Well, he's actually reading. This can't be bad.
The blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. Surely some revelation is at hand.
Somewhere in the sands of the desert, a shape with lion body and the head of a man, a gaze blank and pitiless as the sun is moving its low thighs, while all about it reel shadows of the indignant desert birds. The darkness drops again, but now I know that 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare by a rocking cradle. And what rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches toward Bethlehem to be born?
Your nephew's widow. She get my flowers?
Why, if you sent him, I'm sure she did.
Well, I won't expect to thank you anytime soon. The grieving process, it takes time the closer you are to somebody.
Yeah, I know.
He really is still salty about that whole thing.
Brass tacks. What brings you all the way out to the city?
Well, good news. The condos at the Navy Yard. Polish guy at the joint fitters says they're breaking ground.
That is good.
Good. Yeah. The other thing, this asbestos. I thought about your offer. What do you say to 15%, plus we forget about the balance, what you owe me on the vitamin truck?
First off, it wasn't an offer. It's my position. 25%.
That's it?
What else would you like me to say?
Come on, Phil, what's the problem? I come here in good faith. I make a reasonable counter.
Which I considered and rejected.
Do we need to talk in private?
For what?
Okay, then, in front of everybody. When you were sick, in the hospital, we talked. We shared an understanding about life.
This is business, Anthony.
Yeah, I know. But I'm talking to you here on a human level. There's a limit, Phil. Come on. Point where business bleeds into utter shit. Feelings make things financially unfeasible.
Charles Schwab over here.
So that's it. No leeway, no compromise, just stupid fucking jokes.
You want compromise? How's this? 20 years in the can. I wanted manicotti. I compromised. I ate grilled cheese off the radiator instead. I wanted to fuck a woman, but I compromised. I jacked off in a tissue. You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
Butch, Coco, didn't anybody call you guys?
About what?
Don't tell me the fucking checks are late. There ain't any checks.
What the fuck you talking about?
Silvio, Mr. Sopranos guy, came by this morning.
Said to pull your jobs.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Fuck that. Where's our money?
Don't got it. There's no jobs.
Motherfucker.
I'm sorry, guys. Somebody really should have called you.
Hey! Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh!
Guys, it's enough! Come on, that's not his fault! Oh, yeah? Maybe it's your fucking fault. Call the police!
Tony Soprano owes you $320.
Why didn't you take the test?
Because I dropped out, okay?
What's going on with you? I'm your sister. You have to talk to me. Is this still about Blanca?
You know, I don't know anymore.
I know how you feel, okay? When Finn and I split, I cried every day for like a month.
You realize we're gonna bomb Iran?
You don't know that.
You watch. Bush, before he leaves office. You know I'm right.
Okay. But you need to learn to shut stuff out.
Are you crazy? I mean, do you hear what we're talking about?
You say that, but I come in here and you're surfing the web for porn.
It's not porn.
Al Jazeera?
Don't you ever feel like there's no point to any of this?
Why don't you try setting goals for yourself? Maybe you should move out.
And that's not a
Right,
good
in my
idea to be
condition.
surfing these
I
kind of
can't hold a
sites.
job.
Jesus, AJ, there has to be something you can do.
Look, I'm ill, Meadow. Right? I'm on medication.
Millions
You wanna
of
get on that
people
watch
take
list,
Lexapro.
bruh.
I need Mom's cooking. It could mess with my blood chemistry.
Did Mom and Dad know you dropped out?
No, and don't tell them.
I took time off, remember? They broke my balls, but it really wasn't so bad.
Of course not. And you're their pet.
We're Italian, AJ. You're their son. Do you have any idea what that means? You'll always be more important.
If you go out, make sure you set the alarm. Okay?
What the hell is this kid doing? You have got to be kidding me. There is no way. He's doing it! There's no way. Bro, what is going on in this show? God, he knew how to swim. Jesus Christ. Tony, get in there, get in there, get in there. Bruh, he doesn't know, so he can't rush. Bruh, scream out or something, AJ. Shit, realize. Oh, God. Think they just leave food out there for you? Yo, can you...
Help! My arms! They're frozen!
Hey, Jay, what the fuck?
Help! 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 My leg! It's stuck!
What? Huh? What the fuck did you do?
This kid has been dealing with so much for a...
All right, I got you. Stop fighting me. All right, turn around. Grab the side. Grab the side. Right there. All right.
Damn it.
Suppose he didn't come home, man.
Hold on.
Oh my God.
What's wrong with you? All right. You all right? All right. Come here. Come on. Turn around. Come on, baby. You all right, baby? You all right, baby? You all right?
Well, he was better for a while.
Look, it's not your fault. You warned us.
Meadow tried to help too.
It's gonna be okay.
It will, Mom.
And he was always so happy. He was our happy little boy.
So nobody's gonna address the elephant in the
Well,
room?
let's dispense with the 500-pound elephant in the room.
I know, right?
My kid tried to off himself. We all fucking know. That's it. Nobody's got nothing to say.
How's he doing, Tom?
They got him under observation. Whatever the fuck that means. Stupid fuck. Where did I lose this kid? What did I do wrong?
Oh, come on.
Don't blame yourself, T.
A lot of pressure on kids today, Tom.
Still to try to kill himself?
It happens, Skip.
Happen to your kids? Or yours?
They're all different, Tom. My son Patrick, I love him to death. But he could be a moody prick sometimes.
Heather, you know, she was 15. She went through a rough patch.
Jason, same thing. And he's got the hyperactivity to boot.
My son, too. The older one, James.
He tried to kill himself.
No, I don't know. He gets the blues.
The important thing is AJ's getting the help he needs. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's a chemical imbalance.
It's me. It's all these toxins they're exposed to. It fucks with their brains.
Oh God.
Between the mercury and fish alone, it's a wonder there ain't more kids jumping off bridges.
Oh, that's comforting. All right, so I'm gonna talk about this a little bit, or a lot. I don't know. You know, throughout the series that I've been watching, I've never really talked extensively about how I feel about suicide. I still believe that suicide is a very selfish act. It's very selfish because, you know, when you think about it, you really don't, the person themselves that is going through whatever they're going through or whatever the situation is, they don't really consider anybody else but themselves. It's like, I'm going through this shit and I feel like, you know, it's too much. I don't want to be in this world anymore. You know, to get to the place, because I've had suicidal thoughts before. You know, it's not a situation where, you know, I'm gonna sit here and be like, it is not valid, or your feelings are not valid if you've ever had suicidal thoughts, or you're an idiot, or you're sick, or whatever the situation is. That is not my stance on it. I've always said that it's a very selfish act. You can debate me on that if you want. I don't feel like you know what I'm saying, that it's something that considers anybody else. Is like, your life is in turmoil or whatever the situation is, whatever you're going through to make, you have those thoughts, or to think that way, or to say, I don't deserve to be in this life anymore. Whether it's depression, chemical imbalance, whatever it is, you need help. You need help. Seek help. There's suicide hotlines. There's, go to therapy. And don't get me wrong, sometimes those things don't even help. You know what I'm saying? But try everything. Try everything, man, before you go to that length. You know what I mean? Try everything is what I would say. Try everything. Because that is something that is not going to stop. Like, not because I'm sitting here talking about it or whatever. It's not going to stop people from doing this in the future, or even attempt to do this in the future. In situations like these, as I said, not thinking about the other people, how the other people are going to feel, because you are going through something. And in most cases, you really don't know how to approach somebody who's suicidal, right? You don't know how to approach that situation. You really don't. The most that you can do, and you know what I'm saying, you can't be mad about it. You can't be mad about it. You can't be mad at the person either. So it just, that's why I said, man, that's why I talk about it. And I talk about, you see, if we just do the thing that we're supposed to do, that I believe is our greatest responsibility on earth, is to love each other. If we do that, it's not a guarantee that 100% of people would be more happy or never have suicidal thoughts, but it damn sure would increase. It would decrease the amount of people that do attempt it or do it. We would definitely have more happy people on earth if we love each other. If we show each other love, something, yes, we're still going to get upset at people. Those things are going to happen. And that is why on my channel I talk about, people are so selfish that they look at their own demographic or whatever group they belong to and group themselves into, or, you know what I'm saying? And talk about how important their issues are. When all in all of this is just life experience. All of it is just life experience. All of it is just life experiences. All of it. Why can't we just love each other through anything and stop spreading all this hate? Why can't we just... I know I sound cliche and sound like a freaking tree hugger right now, but I really don't care, because it's just, when I look at it from a standpoint of, people, you have people that sit around and talk about, oh, I love this and I love that, and they cannot love the individual that's literally next to them. I really don't give a shit about how much hurt you've been through in life. You can still love your neighbor, my friend. You can still do it. You get what I'm saying? I've been through so much in me personally. 36 years old, and I've been through so much. Right? And I know there are people around this world that has been through way more chaotic situations than I have. Way more downtrodden things have happened to many of people around this world. And that's why I keep saying throughout these reactions, you know what I'm saying, perspective is a hell of a thing. perspective is something that could change people's mind from even suicidal thoughts as well. Perspective. You see, what AJ is going through, most people are probably never going to go through those things of thinking about these things and thinking, you know, does any of this really matter? And my answer to that is always yes, it matters. It matters. You know, and it goes to show you a lot of times, and this is kind of like painting how, you know, certain things that happen in this country as well, the United States, that, you know, so many other people are suffering around the world, and we just kind of go on all willy-nilly. You know, he talked about how he's, you know, how they just have frivolous things. He talked about the coffee maker. And the thing about it is this: at the end of the day, we still got to live our lives, but you got to live your lives in humility and love. And that's one of the things that, you know, it can take a while for you to get it, to understand, but it's worth it when you do understand. You know what I mean? It really is. It really is worth it when you do understand. And I will encourage anybody to keep pushing through it. If you need someone to talk to, I've always told people this on my channel. I don't know if I've ever said it during these reactions, but if you're going through a lot and you need someone to talk to, my Discord is always open, and the link is down in the description. There's plenty of people that have hit me up, and I've talked to them, helped them to get through certain things that they're going in life, and sometimes that's all it takes. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes that's all it takes. It might take more than that. You see that, you know, therapy didn't really help AJ in this situation. And I think it's because this sometimes therapists can be so bland. You know what I'm saying? They don't get to an empathetic level with you know, they don't get to that empathetic level with their clients, with the people who they're speaking with the patient, I should say, not clients, right? They don't get to that empathetic level. It's like you don't feel what they feel. So you're just asking these bland questions and taking notes of how can we treat this with medication. And I think that's just the wrong way to approach certain things. Yes, you can ask questions till your face turn blue, and that person will never get it, and they'll still have those suicidal thoughts. But I tell you this, it doesn't hurt to talk to someone. So as I said, you guys can hit me up on Discord. We could talk, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They got voice chat on there as well. If you don't want to type, I do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a therapist, not a licensed therapist or anything, but sometimes I do put things into perspective for people and understand, to even help them to understand that, because most of the time is you know, when people go into suicidal thoughts and having depression and stuff, is a lot of times it comes to deal with them not believing or them not understanding or feeling loved, feeling that there's no purpose for them being on this earth, right? There's no meaning to life, right? And you got to help them to understand why their life matters. And yes, not everybody on this earth is going to live the same type of life. Not everybody's going to get that. You know? Let's jump back in. Yeah, I should literally cover up, like, cement that pool over now. Or empty that shit.
I can't fucking shake it.
Shake what?
I'm depressed.
Excuse me?
I'm depressed.
I'm telling you. Don't you start now.
What does that mean?
It means what it means. I have enough on my plate. I don't need you adding to it with your bullshit.
Bullshit. It's an illness. And it's fucking hereditary.
Thank you, I know. I am intimately acquainted with the Soprano curse. Your father, your uncle, your great-grandfather who drove the donkey cart off the road in Avellino, all of it.
Well, you think it's a joke?
Am I laughing?
What are you saying?
You didn't get it from my family. That's all I'm gonna say.
Your family don't even talk. Your father's so bottled up, it's a wonder he's even got a stomach left.
Yeah, as opposed to yours.
This my father was out front about what was bothering him.
Right, with a bullet through your mother's beehive hairdo.
Oh, I knew it. I was wondering how long it was going to take for you to throw that up at me.
You're amazing, you know that? In high school, you were the happy-go-lucky rascal, the comedian, the rap scallion. But all of that was bullshit, wasn't it?
Oh, poor you. She got married under false pretenses.
You've been playing the depression card until it is worn to shreds. And now you've got our son doing it.
Card? Card?
You heard me.
Oh, so it's all me, huh? Our sonny boy? You had nothing to do with it.
It wears you down, Tony. That's all I'm saying. Do you have any idea what it's like to spend day after day with somebody who is constantly complaining?
Fuck you. It's lucky I came home and heard him.
I meant the botched attempt. On some level, he may have known that the rope was too long to keep him submerged.
I could just be a fucking idiot. Historically, that's been the case. Me and Con were getting along so good, too. My father and his panic attacks. My fucking demented uncle. Not to mention the other one, Eckley the fucking retard.
You think there are other reasons why your son is so unhappy?
He's got the world by the balls. Every fucking advantage. And he hits one little pothole, he goes in hysterics. Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, I'm not taking the rap. Not completely. She coddled him, his mother. I said it before. Every little problem, she's right there to pick him up and wipe off his tears on her apron strings.
Children need to feel safe.
And I'm sure that made him into the man he is today.
Are you ashamed of him?
Yeah, actually, I am. Coward's way out. You know what they call it?
I think whoever said that didn't understand depression. But you do, don't you?
God.
So it's front row mezzanine at Grey Gardens, and the guy says that the
Excuse me. You're Tony Soprano's kid, right?
Yeah.
Small world running into you like this, huh?
I'm sorry, do I know you?
Yeah, you got a little cream on your mouth there, sweetie. Be happy to add to it.
What?
Excuse me.
Lucky guy,
This
her
dude
dad.
wants to
Must
die.
be fun tucking her in at night, huh?
Do you have a problem?
Not yet. Would you like one?
We'll go. Come on.
What? I'm saying hello.
Come on, let's go.
Hey, best to your dad, huh?
What the hell was that?
What?
Do you know a guy named Coco?
Why?
She was out on a date last night, and he came over and pulled some crap.
What? How?
We were in the city, Little Italy, and we were having dessert, and he came up out of nowhere and just started saying all this weird stuff.
What kind of weird stuff?
How he liked to tuck me in at night, stuff like that.
Tuck you in?
Smell the sambuca in his breath.
What exactly did he say?
He came up to us and he asked me if I was your daughter. And then he said I had whipped cream on my mouth.
Yeah? What else did he say? It's all right. It's okay. He's an idiot. But he's harmless. I'll talk to somebody.
So, this boy you're dating, this man, who is he?
You promise not to start with an inquisition?
Will you stop with all the secrecy, please?
It's Patrick Parisi, okay?
You're kidding me.
That's exactly why I didn't want to tell you guys and why he didn't tell Uncle Patsy.
I thought he... Where are you going?
Meeting. Cellar.
We have Vogel later, don't forget. I thought Pat Parisi was engaged.
They broke it off. We kind of hooked up at the Cleaver premiere. We started talking. He's changed a lot. I really like him.
So why the big mystery all this time?
I knew you and Daddy never liked him.
Oh, it's not that we didn't like him, it's just... So all those times you told me you were staying with your friend Kimmy in the city, I suppose you were staying at his apartment.
Sometimes. Look, there's something
It's
else.
amazing that Meadow is this old and still has this weird accountability to her parents. It's weird.
What? Why?
It's just too hard.
Isn't anything that's worthwhile?
No, you have no idea.
Of course not.
Don't get sarcastic. I really think it's law for me. You should hear Patrick talk about the justice system and what it means. It's really inspiring.
Well, at least you're not gonna do nothing.
He hasn't been in the paper much lately.
You miss that, don't you?
My father was a rabid Untouchables fan. Make of that what you will.
What, Elliot?
I ran into Nancy Duggan last week. Do you know Nancy?
Vaguely.
She's on staff at Rikers Island, works with a lot of sociopaths, as you can imagine. Anyway, she told me something interesting.
Oh, God.
A lot of studies about talk therapy as it relates to sociopaths and criminals.
Okay.
One of them is the criminal personality, conducted by Yoshelson at St. Elizabeth's.
This man is probably the most
Essentially, it
inappropriate therapist or psychiatrist that I've ever seen. This man does not even concentrate on her problems. It's just the fascination with the fact that she's treating a criminal.
That talk therapy, while not only being useless with sociopaths, actually serves to validate them. Yoshelson says they sharpen their skills as con men on their therapists. Crocodile tears, what have you.
Why are you smirking?
I'm not.
Oh, really?
He showed data. The 1-year reconviction rates were higher for offenders in therapy than for those receiving no treatment at all.
Why are you doing that? This man is so weird. Yeah, you asked for this. You asked for this, buddy. I don't even feel sorry for you. I don't care who you are.
You know, it's always what you think, isn't it? It's never.
Listen, I don't care who you are. I don't know. I don't care if you guys want to say, "Oh, it's Tony," whatever. You probably would have got the same business if it was a regular dad. Just let's just be honest about it. Like what he said to the daughter there, like, come on, man. Like what he said to Meadow was completely inappropriate. You just don't do that shit, especially when you know that this guy is the boss of a crime family. What are you doing? You're basically asking to get that ass whooping. Come on now. Come on now. You lucky he not killing you.
How I feel.
Oh, poor you. It's all your mother's fault, isn't it?
I didn't say that.
You're mama's boy.
You're gonna call me names now?
No one is calling anyone any names.
How about my confirmation? You called me an animal.
I did not.
I was in the garage. And you said, what kind of animal smokes marijuana at his confirmation?
He was using illegal drugs in the home.
Did it ever occur to you that I might have been self-medicating?
Nigga, shut up.
Give me a break, will you?
And how about second grade? You made me show up to school in that dorky raincoat. I got beat up because of it.
You would hole up in that room for hours.
Damn, is a tooth.
I was never really secure
It is
expressing my feelings
pants.
in that house. That's why.
And what kind of poem is that to teach college students?
Would you like to tell your parents what your grandmother said?
My mother?
It's probably Tony's mom.
Dad's mom.
Yeah.
What'd she say?
That it's all a big nothing.
What is?
Life.
I was her, all right.
Okay, fine. She said those kinds of things.
She sat up in bed. When she could hardly move. She could hardly breathe. She said in the end that your friends and family let you down. And that you die in your own arms.
When was this?
When she was in that nursing home. You used to make me go see her.
If there's anything I could do, Tony, for Anthony Jr.
Thank you.
When Alexandra had that bout of anorexia, we had this terrific psychologist.
She tried to kill herself, your daughter?
No,
She had serious problems, though, didn't she?
not really. It's all under control. So, the reason
Why
I'm
did
here,
you bring it up?
you could probably guess.
I guess because of the
What happened at
therapist.
Coco's restaurant.
This alteration you had with him. You're at the precipice, Tony, of an enormous crossroad. Phil's considering shutting down the Hackensack Mall project with the plumbing strike as we speak.
Well, fuck it. Let him.
Easy for you. I have the scaffolding contract.
Oh, is that what this is about, Carmine? What do I owe you?
Come on, huh? You know me better than that.
My daughter. Carmine, my daughter. You got a little girl.
You almost killed the guy.
I should have killed him. I would have total support, but I held myself back.
You were being prudent.
Fuck that. I lost it. Timing couldn't have been worse, but what the fuck?
So you go to Phil. I go with you. Hats in hand, bended knees.
Doesn't every parent make mistakes?
Why not you?
Because I'm a good guy.
Basically.
I love my family. There's a balance. There's a yin and a yang. You think you know. You think you learned something. Like when I got shot.
Know what?
All right. When I was in Las Vegas, I took peyote. Curiosity, I don't know.
You were searching for something.
Well, I saw some things, not things per se, hallucinations, Roger Corman shit. It's kind of disappointing. There wasn't any of that.
What was there?
It's kind of hard to describe. I mean, you've done it, right? Acid, shit like that?
No.
All I can say is, I saw for pretty certain that this, everything we see and experience, is not all there is.
What else is there?
Something else. That's as far as I'm gonna go with it. I don't fucking know.
Alternate universes?
Are you gonna be a fucking comedian now?
I'm not.
Maybe. This is gonna sound stupid. But I saw at one point that our mothers are bus drivers. But, no, they are the bus. See, they're the vehicle that gets us here. They drop us off and go on their way. They continue on their journey. And the problem is that we keep trying to get back on the bus instead of just letting it go.
It's very insightful.
Jesus, don't act so surprised.
It's like I can be profound from time to time. That's very insightful for real, though.
Grab it. And then
That's right, cocksucker. Go back to New Jersey.
Phil, what are you doing?
Take that piece of shit and get off my stoop.
But we just talked about this.
Well, cooler heads prevailed.
Uncle Philly.
Uncle Philly, my ass.
Will you just come down so we can discuss this?
There's nothing left to discuss, Carmine.
Phil is such a fucking buster, dude. He's such a child.
I don't understand.
Freaking emotional.
Why is he like this?
I have no idea. Alright, so for this whole entire time that I've been sitting here, forgot to put on my glasses. Because it does help me, you know, so my eyes don't get tired too quickly. But, man, that was an episode, to say the least. Right? Episode dealt with, you know, AJ, you know, with the attempted suicide. Ah, that boy, man. Been worried about him since season 1. And this is like full circle situation with him. We've been trying to, you know, figure out who AJ is this entire time during this series, like him trying to figure himself out, and we've been along with that journey of trying to see who he is. What is he going to be? Is he going to follow in his father's footsteps? Is he being too coddled? You know, is he going to end up doing drugs? There's so many things that I worried about AJ as a character in the show. You know, where is he going to end up? You know, from the attempted murder with his uncle. It's just time and time again, you just can't figure out really who this kid is and what is really bothering him. And now they're chalking it up to, oh, it's depression and it's hereditary, you know. I don't think depression is hereditary. I think that's bullshit. But hey, I'm not a doctor. It's just my belief that, you know, whatever you're going through individually, that's what you're going through individually when it comes on to stuff like that. They are stuff that is hereditary, disease and stuff like that. You know, it's in your genetics. I believe in that being hereditary. But depression? Depression, is it considered a disease? Is depression considered a disease? If it is, let me know. I don't think depression is hereditary, though. I don't think it is. I think it's more of like, that's like saying if I'm depressed, all my kids are going to be depressed as well. That's why I'm like, I don't think it's hereditary. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it skips a generation either. Like I believe that depression is a real thing. I think it is a real condition that people go through, but I don't think it's hereditary. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't believe in depression. I just don't believe it's hereditary. So, this series deals with a lot, and I was wondering when they were going to dedicate an episode to suicide. To be honest, we've had I think it was like 2 people in the show that we saw commit suicide, right? Or was it just one? I believe it was 2 people. I believe that guy that owed them a lot of money. I think that was attempted suicide, right? Because he never actually go through it. That guy that owed, he built up the gambling debt. I don't remember. I think that was season 2 or 3. And then we had the guy that killed himself. I think it was this season, early on this season, right? So suicide has been a thing in the series. They just never brought it home with a character that, that we've known and, came to know since the inception of the series. So they're finally here at episode 19 with AJ, one of our major characters in the show since season 1, attempting suicide and just feeling like nothing matters anymore. Is that a direct result of parenting? Could be. I think they play a part in this, so they're not void of fault, right? They're not void of fault. They're also been trying to help AJ in any way that they can, look out for him, and it's not too little too late. I think sometimes by the way how you talk to kids and stuff like that does impact them somehow, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna sit here and say that I've never called a kid retarded or I've never called a kid an idiot and stuff like that. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit y'all like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've done it, right? Does that make me a terrible person? No, I don't think so. You get what I'm saying? If a person is acting retarded, it's just, in some ways it's a figure of speech of how we talk and how we address people, and maybe we should do better in doing that. But it doesn't make me a terrible person. It doesn't make you a terrible person if you've done it in the past. You know what I'm saying? I have tried hard to refrain from doing that in when I used to do that. Like, I don't do it anymore because I realize that it's something that could impact kids over time, right? So I don't do it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, years ago, I figured that when I was like in like my mid-20s and stuff, still, saying that stuff to my nephews and stuff like that. And I realized that, you know what I'm saying, if you keep telling the kid that they're an idiot, they might just keep doing idiotic things. You get what I'm saying? Some of them might change for the better and understand that it's just, a bit of, in certain terms, but the thing about it is that when we say it in, out of anger sometimes, so the kid might take it the wrong way and thinking, oh, I'm just an idiot, whatever. It's kind of like how I've told you guys that, I get triggered when people call me lazy. It's the same thing. It's you know what I'm saying? It's not a name, but it's describing someone. It's an adjective, right? It's just saying someone is lazy, and describing them in that manner. So it's kind of like you putting that label on that person is It's not good for their mental health. You get what I'm saying? Because if they're not mature enough to understand that they're not really an idiot, they're just doing idiotic things, it's, you know, it can be damaging. It can be damaging. And once you acknowledge that, you know, you'll change, or you'll hold your tongue when those thoughts come in your mind, per se. So I'm glad that they did dedicate an episode to this, because it just kind of, and also getting getting the three of them in the same room, you know, Carmela, Tony, and AJ in the same room to discussing it, and AJ was able to tell him, hey, you called me an animal, you know, you said this, you said that to me, blah blah blah. And it's also not about playing the blame game as well, because at the same time, AJ, you're 20 years old. Let's cut the bullshit. This shit happened years ago. Let's not make it seem like, you know, this has anything to do with you feeling like life has no meaning. Like, what does me calling you an animal have to do with you thinking that life has no meaning? You get what I'm trying to say? Like, how does that correlate? Explain it to me. So yes, those things did happen, and it's bad, and we're going to take accountability for that. But when are you going to take accountability for what's happening with you? What's going on? Talk to us, right? What's going on? Because every time we talk to you and ask you to talk to us, you're making it seem like we would never understand, right? Meadow basically forced him to talk about some of this stuff, right? But I get it. Every time he kind of brought up the subject, he kind of got shot down and, you know, belittled. So he never really got to express himself, really. So definitely they were wrong in that manner, by when they were trying to address in any of this, or when he was trying to explain any of this, he kind of got belittled or shut down and stuff like that. And it's one of the things that I experienced in my family as well. You know, I remember I couldn't bring up certain situations around either of my parents, whether it's my mom or my dad. Like, you just couldn't talk to them about anything, because if it's not interested, if it's not interesting to them, they tend to kind of like brush it aside. You get what I'm saying? They tend to kind of like brush it aside and be like, oh well, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, because, you know, they're older. They don't understand that you need to talk through these things, because they never talk through these things. So I can understand where he's coming from to that end. We've saw it on multiple occasions when he tried to talk about this. He always kind of got shut down by his dad and be like, you know, why can't you be like this, or why can't you be like that? You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know, even in therapy, he talks about it where it's like, you know, why can't he be like the other kids? You know, they're going through stuff too and doing this and whatever. But we saw how that turned out. So AJ has had it rough, you know, and I'm not, you know what I'm saying, like pushing his feelings aside. You know, he needed that support system, and he really didn't have it. His mom was worried about him. Carmela wanted him to talk, but he never talked. So there's also some accountability on his end as well, because when he did have the attention to talk, he didn't really talk. So he has to take some accountability as well. So it's good to have three of them in the room. That was a great scene, right? So I'll rock with it. But in any case, when it comes on to, you know, just the overall feel of the episode, they did a great job of setting that atmosphere, and I'm glad that they showed Tony, you know, beating that dude's ass, and also showing him with his son at the end as well, that he went to visit him, you know, and just talk to him, be a dad, you know what I'm saying? So that was cool. So in this, the whole thing that happened with Meadow, that guy asked for that. Phil is a bitch, don't like him. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen a more moody person in my, and he's the same one that talked about John crying at his daughter's wedding. He's the same one. The same one. And he's just as moody. I mean, seriously. You can't come down You can't come down and say that to another boss. You're a boss. You can't come down to another boss and tell him how you feel about the situation and dismiss him anyways. You're talking through a window, my guy. What a bitch, man. Can't respect Phil, bro. I can't respect him in any case. But anyways, guys, that was a great episode. I will be talking a lot more of all the subject matter that they touched on in this series in my series review. So make sure you check that out at the end of episode 21 for the season. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to comment. I'll catch you guys for the next one, man. Peace.